Hello to you, my wonderful cosmic dragon friends. Welcome back. Greetings to you all. Today we are asking for messages of wisdom and guidance from our friends, the dragons, the cosmic dragons. I've already sprayed our cosmic dragon essence today. I lit some dragon's fire incense that I was guided to get yesterday as well. So we've really got the energy going. I was meditating shortly before doing this, and there was a lot of dragons coming in very, very strongly. So they really want to talk to us today. So I've got 3 dragon oracle decks for you to choose from that we'll be basing each reading off. So for group 1, pile 1, I would say pile, even though it should be group really, shouldn't it? But I like pile 1, so let's stick with that. Pile 1, we have the Dragon Wisdom Oracle and this piece of hematite. You'll note that every pile has a piece of hematite today, because the dragons told me yesterday that I had to go out and buy hematite for every pile for this reading. I was actually planning to film this yesterday, but I was called off to do something else, so I didn't get to do that. Yeah, so each one has a piece of hematite. This one's kind of got more of a pinky, that's kind of more blue, that's a bit more green, yellow, gorgeous. Love rainbow hematite. So pile 1, sorry. Focus, Helen. Right. Pile 1, Dragon Wisdom. Pile 2, Star Dragons. Pile 3, Dragon Path. Okay, so take a moment to have a look, gaze at the oracle decks, gaze at the lovely pieces of rainbow hematite that we've got here. Also got our new friend, the Feng Shui Prosperity Dragon, who's sat here with us. He was an acquisition yesterday as well. I went in a shop and the shopkeeper said, "Oh, hello, can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, I'm looking for dragons." I swear, these poor people that have to deal with me. We've also got my dragon power ring here on the table. It's here with us, isn't that gorgeous? Let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, so that's the energy of that's here with us too today. Let's pop it there next to my labradorite, which is there to help my psychic ability. Oh, another new crystal on the table today is this gorgeous piece of aqua aura, which I got yesterday with these 3. So these are all friends already. And they went out under the light of the full moon last night. So they're all charged up and raring to go. So take a moment to pick your pile. I keep going off on a tangent, so I have a feeling these readings are going to be very interesting today. Probably going to be a bit longer than I was expecting, but it's all good. Clearly there's lots they have to say. So take a moment, pick your pile, click in the description below, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello and welcome, pile 1. You chose the Dragon Wisdom Oracle, this gorgeous piece of rainbow hematite, and your tarot deck today will be the Light Seers Tarot. So we're going to start out with the Dragon Wisdom Oracle. I've also got on the table a couple of other oracle card decks. We have the Messenger Oracle and we have the Secret Language of Light. So some very high level spiritual messages are going to be coming through, as well as more practical ones today. So getting exciting. Must be a lot going on people's spiritual paths today. I apologise if you hear any noise because it is Sunday, so people are out doing things in their gardens, you know, got washing machines on and the such like. We will try not to let that distract us, however, won't we? So let's see what messages your dragons, the cosmic dragons, have for you. Let's see what we've got. Independence. Wow, look at him. Sorry, I'm being told her. Look at her. Prayer. Thoughts. Wow. Do you know what I want to say right off the bat is that prayer can bring you independence from your thoughts. It's almost like spiritual practice can free you from being ruled by the lower mind, the ego mind. That's where I want to go. First of all with this reading, I'm just being guided to look at what's on the bottom, Revelation. That was on the bottom before I started shuffling this deck as well, so that card obviously wanted to come through. So there's an energy of things being revealed to you here. Perhaps you've been learning how to quieten the conscious mind. Perhaps you've been on that kind of journey reading The Power of Now or something like that, doing mindfulness meditation or some other kind of meditation. Perhaps you've been drawn to quieten the mind by doing some sort of spiritual practice, yoga, literal prayer, mantra, you know, what it is that you do is what's right for your path. So independence. Wow. And look, I'm pushing these cards apart for some reason. So there's like a separating of ways. Perhaps you're stepping away from your previous path at the moment towards something else, or maybe you feel like you're moving away from the people that you did resonate with before. And this is normal, you know, as we grow spiritually. Oh my goodness, big cloud of smoke just shot past my window. Okay, I may just need to close the window for a second. Okay, windows closed. That was a really dramatic cloud of smoke that just came past. I think next door are messing around with their barbecue, getting it lit. Thankfully, I live in England and we're all in brick houses, so there's less of a risk of fire of them going up. But you know, obviously they're not invulnerable, unfortunately, are we? Whew, goodness me, I just ran downstairs to close all the windows on this side of the house. It's all good, it's all good. But it was very dramatic, almost like I talk about the dragons and fire and poof, all this smoke goes past the windows. So maybe there is a connection to fire or smoke for you here. Maybe that's imagery that you've been seeing in your own meditation, or something that's literally linked to your life somehow. Going to be different for everybody, of course, because this is a group reading. So, wow, yes, freedom from your thoughts. It's like your thoughts want to go higher. So you could be starting to work, or continuing to work with the higher mind, with this very beautiful white dragon. The purity here is so beautiful. Looking up lofty ideals, blue sky thinking as well, trying to get above all of these clouds and see the truth, see the light of things. Wow. Really love this dragon here as well, coming in with very gentle spiritual practice. He's actually got a scroll and some candles here, which you can't see very well. So maybe it's a nudge for you to just light a candle and just sit for a moment in a nice place, a special place in your house. If you have an altar, at your altar. I do. I actually really like having one. I haven't had one for very long. I haven't really lived places I could have one before, and yeah. Earlier this year I had the opportunity to set one up, and boy did I. So, independence. Look, holding on to these big orange crystals. It's like this dragon's in a crystal cavern. Fascinating. One of the guided meditations I've actually done with my groups in the past when I lead meditation is a crystal cavern that we've all been to, and obviously it looks different for everybody because it's your crystal cavern that you go to when you do this meditation. But that's what I'm drawn to, like a crystal cavern type meditation, and with the orange and yellow colours, but particularly the orange. I want to go to the sacral chakra. I want to talk about the sacral chakra and feeling more independent, maybe stepping away from family, from old traditions, maybe literally leaving home for some of you, or gaining your independence from something that was trapping you. Because look, this dragon, you could imagine that maybe he's trapped. Sorry, she's trapped. I keep being corrected on that for some reason. There's a female energy on here. This is a divine feminine dragon. Wow. Who, you know, looks a bit trapped in like this crystal cavern, almost like amber, except it's crystalline forms, crystalline shapes. Oh, they give me a name. Aragonite is, I want to bring Aragonite. I think that's the one. It forms in these shapes like this, and there's like a Sputnik form that looks almost like a little old-fashioned like satellite, which is really fun. I used to have a piece like that. I don't know where it went. I may or may not still have it. Who's to say? I acquired that one a long time ago, like 25 plus years ago, so who knows where that is now. If it shows up, I'll definitely bring it on camera for you. But that's what I get, and it's the sacral chakra I want to talk about. This feeling like you know who you are in the world, feeling braver to speak up for yourself, to express yourself truly and fully to other people, and not feel ashamed of who you are and how you choose to express that. It's beautiful, very strong energy. There's a little bit of defiance here as well. So maybe you've had a fight on your hands. Maybe you've had to step away from a toxic situation, leave a toxic relationship with someone who just wouldn't let you go. You know, there's many possibilities here. And maybe you left your spiritual practice behind for something that kept you stuck. So there is that nudge coming in here as well to go back to what it is that helps you to feel whole and calm and centered. It may be a religion that you just have kind of neglected a little bit, whatever your spiritual practice is, or would like to be. You know, it doesn't have to be something you've already done. whatever it is you were drawn to that maybe you didn't do. It's going to be a little bit different for everyone, of course, because this is a group reading. I have my gigantic cup of tea here, of course. This is like 600 mils. This is huge. It's like a pint for those Americans watching who refuse to use the metric system because, yeah, I don't care. No skin off my nose. It's just funny. I like the jokes about it. But I saw one the other day, which I can't repeat. Got to stop laughing about it. Right. Okay. Maybe it is to do with the metric system. Maybe you are that American person who wants to use, no, I will use the metric system, Mum. Sorry. I told you it was going to be one of those readings, didn't I? I did warn you at the beginning, if you watched all of the intro. You were warned, you know, you've only got yourself to blame right now. Okay. Right, we're going to pop these guys. Where do you want me to put this? On top. Oh, I see. Okay. Pop these up here. And we're going to light seers. Okay, let's bring in some tarot cards as well. I always like to use a mixture of tarot and oracle because I was always primarily like an oracle angel card reader. That's where I started, and I started very much working intuitively. Although technically my first deck was actually a tarot deck. I didn't do very much with it because I really struggled trying to learn all the meanings. And it was a non-traditional deck as well, so it wasn't like it was the traditional meanings. I just couldn't memorise them all, and it did my head in. And then I found a different way of reading, which is the intuitive way, and I just took to it like a duck to water. And then I kind of came back all around again, back to tarot after going through all of that. It's only kind of like the last few years I've really been using tarot in the traditional meanings, which is something I kind of shelved for a long time. So that's new for me, and I don't know why I'm sharing that, but that's coming out for a reason. So, oh, look at the colours. I really love, and as an intuitive reader who's very visual, I love colours, and I love aesthetics. I'm a Libra, yeah, it's a thing. I really love the way that my guides always guide me to put out cards in such a way that we get gorgeous colours and patterns on the table. I think they know that I like that. So, okay. Yes. I see. When you want one more, where am I putting it? At the bottom. Okay. Do you want that one? No. Okay, fine. All right, like all readers, I read under instruction from my spirit guides. I've got the dragons here with me as well, so I'm being literally told which cards to take. So when you hear me talking to someone, I'm not talking to another person as such. I'm talking to my posse, as I call them, who are all here with me. Oh, sorry, I got told off for moving that. Right, so let's go through the cards. We have the Nine of Cups and the Page of Cups that came out first of all. So you might be feeling a little bit pagey at the moment, a little bit cagey, pagey. So it's almost like maybe finding your wings for the first time, either generally in life or one particular aspect of your life. And I'm seeing 1313 on the clock. So yeah, 13 in the major arcana is death. So it is about change, death and rebirth, letting go of the old, bringing in the new, ushering in the new. So there could be some major changes going on in your life. It could be literally major life change time, or it could be something quite important to you that's shifting, changing. And you may be starting to express yourself differently. You may be starting to wear different clothes. You may be experimenting with things maybe that you didn't have the opportunity to earlier on in life. And that's something that I definitely relate to now. For example, because of my own life, I didn't really have like a rebellious teenage phase. It just wasn't possible. It wasn't possible. Oddly now in my 40s, I feel like I'm kind of going through a second teenage phase, but in a nice way, because I'm not like a rebel without a clue these days. You know, I'm a responsible adult with a job, and and I know a thing or two about the world, and I'm not angry and full of hormones. Well, most of the time. So I've been experimenting with different styles, with fairy core, which I have talked about and you might have seen if you follow me on Instagram, and the link's in the description if you want to go find me over there, and more kind of like the boho western style of clothing. I've started wearing skirts again. I never used to wear skirts. I haven't worn skirts for 20 years, seriously. It's like I'm becoming a new person. So this is kind of the energy I'm feeling here, which is why I'm sharing about my own life. You know, I'm not trying to make this about me. No one wants to hear that. It's nonsense. Again with the colours, look at the star and the prayer card. Look at these gorgeous colours they're putting together for us here. Our pale blues, yellowy oranges, and our purples. That's beautiful. So there's a real theme of really gorgeous aesthetics here for you. So it does feel like whatever is happening in your life right now, it's actually quite balanced and it seems very ordered in the spiritual scheme of things. I want to say that this is the natural order coming into play. It feels like you coming into your true self in some way, shape or form. So perhaps you were repressing it for some reason. Perhaps you've always been drawn to Wicca, witchcraft, the ancient magical ways perhaps of the British Isles. Like I've always been drawn to that. But unlike me, maybe you were forced to follow another religion that maybe you weren't comfortable with or didn't kind of chime for you, you know, or you weren't allowed to pursue your interest in what it was that you were interested in, the sort of spirituality you wanted to do. You know, maybe you were forbidden from doing yoga because it was dabbling. You know, I've heard someone say that before and I nearly fell off my chair laughing. But anyway, I mean, fair enough, each to their own, but seriously? Anyway. Where was I going? Yes, Nine of Cups, Page of Cups. This is wonderful. Independence and Nine of Cups. Look at them. It's like you coming into your own right now, coming into your strength, into your power, your glory. This light emanating from your heart, from your emotional center. It's glorious. It's powerful. Screaming your song. I want to say, this isn't about singing your song. This is about screaming your song to the world so that it hears you. There's almost a defiance that comes through here as well. Absolutely loving this energy. Very powerful, but very beautiful as well. The star. Yes. I do want to talk with prayer and the star coming together. Let's pop these out. Look at that. Beautiful. I love how they match the colours for me. They're cheeky, aren't they? The star and prayer. Yes. Such an esoteric energy coming through here. So I believe there could well be lots of information coming down from the higher realms for you at the moment. You may actually be working with dragon energy yourself, which might be why you were drawn to this video, in which case welcome. Please subscribe, there will be more. I have done another dragon reading before as well, so you can look that up, and I'm sure there'll be others in the future. One of my dragons just went, "There'd better be." That's so cheeky. Right. Yes, it feels like you are getting downloads at the moment, downloads of information. So you might suddenly find that you know something and you're not sure why you know it. That's what I mean by a download. If you think about your brain being like a computer, and sometimes it downloads an upgrade. Yeah, sometimes it downloads information in the background and you don't know it's doing it. Yeah, but it might go a bit slowly or act a bit weird while that's happening. Okay. Exactly the same thing happens to humans. If you think of us as living technology, if you think of the human body as living technology that the soul inhabits, it all makes a lot of sense if you think about it in those terms. And technically speaking, that's kind of what it is. That is a very good description of the sort of meat suit that we wear to fly around on this little rock that we're on called Earth. So yes, there's a lot of esoteric knowledge, a lot of wisdom coming through. In my mind, I was just grabbing books then. I can see like grabbing books, big thick books of knowledge, of wisdom, spells, lots of powerful information coming through. You may be reading about esoteric knowledge, various different magics, healing, whatever it is you're drawn to. But certainly there's a nudge to do that if you haven't already, if you haven't recently. And if you're feeling drawn to do it, I would say do it. Absolutely. That is right for your energy right now. Okay. Beautiful. Divinely guided to seek spiritual esoteric wisdom right now. If you're not already doing it, this is your sign. Okay. All right. Seven of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. Yes. There is this wonderful energy of spiritual growth, but gentle, slow spiritual growth with powerful roots here. It looks like you've put down the energetic roots. It feels like you're doing things properly. You're not trying to run before you can walk, is what I want to say, which is what some people do when it comes to magical working, spell work. People can really fuck up, for want of a better word, if they don't know what they're doing. But it feels like you're trying to do things correctly, whichever path you're following, whichever spirituality you're interested in. It feels like you're trying to do things slowly, carefully, perhaps even strategically. Feels like you have some goals at the moment in your life that you want to make happen outside of your spirituality as well. Maybe there's a relationship that you want to begin, cultivate, improve, because there is this sense of growing something from the roots up. Maybe you're literally growing a garden, maybe it's to do with your career, your work, your business. And there is this energy of give and take as well. And I want to bring in an energy of gifts too. So there is an energy of gifts coming in from your spirit guides, from your dragons at this time. And yes, I'm going to say your dragons, because there are dragons around all over the place, and many of us do work with them. We have them as spirit guides and we don't even know about it. So I would say, if you take a moment to do some sort of meditation, to invite them to step forward, see which dragons want to work with you, see which ones are already there. I already had some I didn't know they were there a few years ago, that stepped forward when I started doing Reiki healing, and they stepped in to do very specific work with me. So that was fascinating. Right. Yes, and it is almost like striking out on your own here with the Page of Cups, being heart-centered, heart-led, striking out on your own, becoming the person that you knew you always wanted to be, or becoming more of that person, even more authentic, even more real. No longer holding yourself back with that Eight of Swords energy, being overcome by the Eight of Wands. So it might have happened quite suddenly. It might have been a sudden shift, a sudden change. But it was not before time, because with the Six of Wands, it feels like this has been a long time coming, some time coming. Other people may have been encouraging you for a long time as well, saying, you really should do da-da-da, whatever it is. You really should get up on the stage and say, they've been telling you for years to do this. You're going to have at least one friend or family member who will be like, see, I told you should have done that. And you'll be like, yeah, well, I didn't know, I wasn't sure, It takes the time it takes to get there. There's no judgment, no shade here. It takes the time it takes for us to get where we need to go. And that's just the way of things. And there's nothing we can do about that. And there's nothing wrong with that either. So victory after a long battle is the Six of Wands energy. It's wonderful. But I think it was more of an internal struggle than anything else. But again, if this shift or change hasn't happened yet, I feel it will do very soon. These cards are slightly off into the future position for me, the way I lay them out. But that doesn't mean it hasn't already happened for some of you. It feels like it's either going to happen in the near future, or a deepening of the shifts and changes is going to happen in the near future. So this is what we've got here. I think your life could be changing quite a lot over the next 22 months, and we are on minute 22. Oh, 22 as I'm saying this. There's a lot of emotion here though, because 22 is the feet of the goddess. It's a very emotional number. It's where we have two twos together, so there is symmetry and balance, but there is also a lot of emotion to deal with. So there could be a lot of tears, a lot of healing. It could be time to work with a counsellor. It could be time to actually work through some past trauma as well. It's not the easiest energy to be in, although it can feel wonderful. It's kind of high highs and low lows. It's a tricky one to work through. So hang on in there, intrepid traveller. All right, let's bring out some more oracle cards. Let's get our messenger oracle to see what other messages we have. Oh, that one wants to come out, doesn't it? Look at that. Seek your destiny. Yeah. There's that star again, like on the star card down here, leading you forwards, guiding you through the dark forest, into this journey, into this beautiful tree. And you've got this magical cat here, carrying the cosmos within him, who wants to lead you forwards. Maybe you have a beautiful cat with long fur, just like this one. Looks a bit like a Maine Coon, or just a long-haired cat. Share your thoughts. Interesting. And this is a dragon as well, which is interesting because this is not a dragon deck. All right. This one is not a dragon deck. There are a few dragons in there, not that many. So interesting that one of them's come out here to join his friends. Be without malice. Yes, there's a remembrance here that the people who held you back taught you a lesson. And another dragon, be patient. Yeah, be patient, be without malice. Remember that everyone has their own path. They do things in their own time, all right? And even the people who appear to be obstacles on our path are teaching us something as well. They are just as important, if not more important, than the people who assist us in our progress. The ones who hinder us, they make us stronger. Okay, you don't build muscle without going to the gym, without lifting the heavy weights, all right? You don't just get to drink the pre-workout or the protein shake or something and magically the muscles appear. You have to do the work. You have to deal with the obstacles, the physical obstacles, go through the pain barrier. Yeah, so I think you have been patient. I think you've waited a long time for the positive changes coming in, and I think you very much deserve them. And The Be Without Malice card is interesting because I think you are. I think you already are without malice. I don't think you hold any ill will to anyone who has, shall we say, impeded you along your path or been an obstacle, been a blocker to you, been difficult, caused you problems, caused you difficulty. I don't think you are that sort of person. You're not vindictive. I think you are the sort of person who can see the blessings in every situation, who doesn't hold a grudge. That being said, doesn't mean you have to be friends with people who were toxic or who would, who caused problems in your life or you don't like or treated you badly. There's absolutely no reason to do that. You're not a fool, of course, or you wouldn't be here. But yes, share your thoughts. What I was saying, it may be time to share some of the stuff you've been through with a counsellor, with a therapist. I work with a very spiritual counsellor called Chrissy Sawyer, who's amazing. I think she's kind of dropped the counsellor badge now as such, but the work we do is incredibly powerful and very healing from trauma. So there could be some trauma healing there for some of you coming to the table. Yes, but it does feel like you're very much on the right path right now. You are on the path of your destiny, and I think there's some very exciting things to come. Very, very interesting future coming up here for you. And you notice this dragon actually carries the insignia of the triple moon, the triple goddess, with the full moon and the waxing and waning moons on either side. Yes, so this is about cycles, but it is about that goddess energy as well. I was quite drawn to that in the beginning. So let's see what we've got with the Secret Language of Light here. These are very, very spiritual cards. Always some interesting stuff comes through here. Okay, have we got... Oh, that one wants to fall out. Soul mating on 34/7. That one. Alignment on 14. Notice it came out upside down, so it wasn't aligned. I don't shuffle these upside down. That was not supposed to be there like that. Interesting. And, oh, you want to come out. 10 Soulcraft. Wow. Yeah, coming into alignment with your higher truth, higher self, higher aspects of you, higher path, higher calling. So it's all on the up right now for you, like this dragon flying upwards, away from the lower level negative thoughts, up to higher levels of understanding, higher levels of existence, higher levels of comprehension of this world and the worlds beyond it and the dimensions beyond them. It's a fascinating, very beautiful energy as well. Truth coming in. Understanding who you are and who your soulmates are, why they're on your path. It's almost like everything opening up. Some very, very deep awakenings happening for this group. So you may have experienced a Kundalini rising, some sort of spiritual awakening where all of a sudden you understood greater things about the world, or you've been studying them and books about certain spiritual wisdom or messages have really been chiming for you, really been resonating, and you feel like you understand the world better, feel that you're at a higher vibration, feel calmer, perhaps you may be feeling a little bit less in your body sometimes, almost a bit floaty, in which case I will say remember to ground yourself, because yes, it's easy to float off into space when you're doing a lot of spiritual work, a lot of meditation, a lot of healing, but you have to bring yourself back down to ground because your poor physical body won't be able to handle that for long, okay? You do have to bring yourself back. You have to keep grounding, because as long as we are in this physical form, you've got to look after the body temple. That is your responsibility. You must take care of it. So you can't just float off and stay there, I'm afraid, not till you pass over, and that will come when it's due, and not before. So Soulcraft 10, yes, there is a shift, a change here. It could be, like I was saying, a major life change for some people. It feels like maybe you start to do a completely different line of work. And I don't know what that would necessarily be, but something completely different, or live somewhere completely different. It's like really finding your vocation, even if you thought you knew what it was. There's such a beautiful big shift here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to take one last... I want to talk about relationships here. I'm just going to jump back into these two. I do want to talk about relationships, cutting ties with past relationships that were holding you back, because we have got the hearts on here and I am drawn to that element as well. And with the soul mating, there could be soulmates coming in to your life right now. Soulmates can come in as friends, acquaintances, colleagues, but also obviously as romantic relationships, because they are incredibly important in this realm. It is something we are here to learn about. We are here to learn about love, of course. Let's take one last decision. Ah, interesting. So the decision dragon is coming in here, possibly throwing down the gauntlet to you. Are you going to make the big changes? Are you going to make the decision to live your truth? Are you perhaps going to leave a relationship to move on to another one, or to fully immerse yourself into a relationship that's beckoning to you? Perhaps you've been holding back from because you were scared. Just seen 30:03 on the clock, so we've got beautiful mirroring energy there. So it could be that you found someone who's literally your mirror. Maybe you thought you couldn't be with them, or maybe that you thought they wouldn't want you because maybe you think you're ugly. Like, you know, if you look at this dragon, it's not a very handsome dragon. Maybe, you know, you thought you were like the ugly dragon. Sorry, dragon. He doesn't mind. This earth dragon. He says, I'm not meant to be pretty. It's fine. Yeah, it's almost like an ugly duckling energy coming through here. Whew. But I feel there is a lot of change. There are people coming into your life who are attracted to your light, to your energy. They don't care what you think you look like. All right, they don't care what you think you look like. They will be drawn to you, attracted to you regardless. So that's very beautiful. Whew. Okay. And it may be time to cut ties with certain people's situations as well, or just to do an energetic tie cutting. There's one over on my other channel, Angel Wings Holistics. You can find, I'll try and remember to put the link in the description below, which is Cutting the Ties with Archangel Michael. You can also find that on my website to download. It's like 99p or something, I can't remember. It's not very much. And you can use that guided meditation anytime you feel the need to do that. Whew. So let's do some charms. Bring in a few charms to get some other messages for you, my pile ones. That's a lot. Okay, more than I was expecting, guys. Stop laughing at me. Okay, right. Sorry, my guides are always literally always laughing at me. Letter R. I'm going to put that there because that's meaningful. Okay. We have a sea turtle, beautiful wisdom coming in there. We have a four-leaf clover, good fortune. We have a gorgeous lady's shoe. We have a rocking horse, maybe children are in this equation, or inner child healing coming through. We have a bat, so there is the sixth sense coming through here. We have a very protective hand of Fatima here, Hamza. We have the Om, so yes, it is all about the spiritual practice right now. We have the flag of the United States of America, so there may be a connection to the States here, or somebody that's for somebody watching. We have the hot air balloon. Yes, I kind of feel like I want to put this over here, flying up with this dragon here, flying to higher heights of understanding and wisdom. We have a lovely little key. So yes, perhaps you have the key to somebody's heart, I want to say. We have the tree of life. So there is this reminder to ground yourself. One of the techniques I use is to imagine that I have roots coming out of the bottoms of my feet. We have a lovely unicorn, so I feel that represents you, potentially. A beautiful mermaid who does not want to look at us. She's the same on both sides, you don't see her face. There's very, very mysterious sea energy there for some people. I've just dropped the cat. The cat was trying to escape, typical cat. And we have the ship's wheel here. So there could be travel on the cards for you. There could be somebody who was very aloof, who sees you as a unicorn, who thinks you're very special. Okay, so that was a whistle-stop tour of your charms. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit my first milestone of 1,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate it if you would be a part of that journey with me. You take very good care of yourselves, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos. You chose the Star Dragons Oracle cards, and your tarot deck today will be the Unfolding Path. And I've already been getting some information coming through for you, which is very, very interesting. I was downstairs getting a snack between pile 1 and pile 2, as you do, and I found myself eating pistachio nuts. Now bear with me. And I was stood next to some spinach that I just picked from the garden as well, and I was going, isn't it interesting how when you make pistachio ice cream it goes really green? Actually, I don't know if they add food colouring, but whenever I've had pistachio ice cream, it's like this really vivid green. It kind of sticks in my mind. It's like one of my favourites. And I was thinking, green. Oh, heart chakra. Okay, we got a theme going on here for pile 2. I'm already starting to tune into the energy for pile 2. We're getting green. And then I was drawn to eat these little sweets I've got at the moment, these like gummy candy, which are, they look like strawberries, so they're pink and green. I went, oh, pink and green. Well, that's the higher heart and the heart chakra. So I got the message loud and clear from my guides, and we've got this is the rainbow hematite that has the pink on it as well. So isn't that interesting? Put it up here. There we go. So I was thinking to myself, yep, pink and green, definitely heart and higher heart chakra coming through here. So there could be a theme of love or relationships or emotional healing perhaps that be going on with this pile. So I just wanted to share that with you. And then a part of me, my ego jumped in and went, don't be so ridiculous. They're going to laugh at you. Honestly, pistachios and sweets. And that's your spiritual message. And I thought, well, yes, that is my spiritual message, because this is obviously another message for you guys, or for some of you watching, is that spiritual messages tend to come through very normal means. They come through very banal means, which is why we very often miss them. Okay, because we think, well, that wasn't spiritual enough. That can't possibly be a spiritual message for me, or a message from my guides or from God or from my angels. Oh, no, 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 that was far too normal. And I was thinking, well, yes, my message came through as the colours pink and green and the snacks that I was I was drawn to before pile 2, when my guides drew my attention to them, because I listened to them and that's how we work. And I thought, well, the kind of person who would say, oh, that's ridiculous, what are you expecting it to come through as? Are you expecting it to be pink and green puffs of smoke appearing in the kitchen next to me, and, like some magical fairies appearing, waving their wands? Well, maybe that's what we'd like our spiritual messages to look like, but please let me tell you, for the majority of us, that's not what they look like. They come through as incredibly normal, everyday things. And it's up to us to see the messages and understand that they're there, and that they're not spiritual enough to be actual messages, because a lot of the time they are. Spiritual messages look very, very normal when we're in the 3D realm. Okay. They can show up as unusual things, as coincidences, as seeing things, but the majority of the time, why would our spirit guides want to put that much energy, that much spiritual energy into doing something really dramatic for us? It's just not necessary. When we learn to communicate more effectively with our spiritual guides, and I know a lot of you guys out there know this, yes, they can communicate with us through small things without too much trouble, because that line of communication is open and we're paying attention. So that was a message for somebody. Okay. Let's have a look at our gorgeous star dragons. Wow, look at these lovely, lovely blue colours coming through here. Now, just to clarify, not all the cards are blue. They're all different colours. But we've got a lovely blue theme coming through here. Gorgeous. Wow, very calming energy here, I think. So there's a calming energy coming through for the heart here, because I was very drawn to the heart and the higher heart, and I'm being told to get one of my crystals, which is the ruby in fuchsia. And I'm just going to see if I can find that and pop it on the table. Okay, I'm back. Here it is, our lovely ruby in fuchsite. Let's just give it a spritz of the cosmic dragon. Lovely. Okay. Beautiful. Give it a dragon cleanse. Oh, it likes that. Okay. Just doing some Reiki symbols on it. There we go. Okay, so I'm very drawn to this crystal for you, pile 2. So you may wish to invest a piece, or you could just take a screenshot, take a photo of this piece and use that, because the energy will still come through for you. There we go. Okay, so bringing that lovely harmonizing, balancing energy to you. And what I really like about this is, I've had this piece for a while, and this is just what's speaking to me today. It almost looks like rocks in a stream. You know the song Islands in a Stream? I'm kind of going to that one as well. There's a very loving presence here, almost like something very, very stable, in an energy that's free-flowing and moving, but a sense of stability despite the fact that the energy is moving all around you. So a sense of stability. It's very beautiful, stable emotions coming in, and that may be something that you have or something that you desire to have. So this reading is all about the heart. We have 18, healing, restoring hope. Number 4, wisdom, asking questions. Some of you may literally be in counselling at the moment because of heartbreak, or because of trauma, difficult emotions that you're dealing with at the moment. Or it might just be that you're asking yourself some questions. Why did this happen? Why did that happen in my life? Why did I go through that? Difficult questions coming up, but it's positive because we have hope coming back, that we have healing. So whatever it is you are struggling with or going through perhaps at the moment, or maybe that's what you help other people with. Remember, this is a group reading, so it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Just take the messages that make sense to you, leave the ones that don't. 12, the self, gathering your power. Yes, this is what I feel you're doing. And look how the lower half of her body is almost on fire at the moment. It's like these lower chakras being empowered, the lower chakras of the body being strengthened by the fire of the dragons here, starting to feel stronger, feel more yourself. Bliss, cherishing the day. Oh, very beautiful. And that's on number 6 as well, which is the number of the heart, the sacred chalice. So I'm just going to put this here in case YouTube flags for nudity, which it isn't. Well, anyway. Okay, cherishing the day with this beautiful like mermaid type being here. And we've kind of almost got like an air nymph here with this dragon, like a space nymph of some kind. So it feels like helpers being around you, esoteric helpers around you, maybe etheric beings. Maybe you're working with the fairy realms, with the unicorns, with the dragons themselves. Maybe that's what brings you here. And space on number 5. So mastery of one's space. But on 5, I want to bring in the conscious mind as well, because you guys know I'm a numerologer. Being a master of one's space. I'm seeing a big heart shape here as well, because the card kind of dips at the bottom. It looks almost like a big heart shape that you can't quite see because it goes off the sides of the card. So I want to literally bring in the heart there. But this very grounding energy. There's almost like this big kind of stone at the bottom. I can't tell if it's part, oh, it is part of the dragon's tail, but it looks like the dragon's tail is almost made of stone. Being the master of one's space, the master of one's mind in a very 3D world, in a very low level, low vibrational world. So mastery of one's own thoughts, mastery of the difficult thought patterns that come up that maybe we learned in childhood, thought patterns like I'm stupid, I'm worthless, nobody will ever love me, you know, those kinds of difficult thought patterns that can make our lives very different and very difficult later on down the line. Very different, interesting. I meant to say difficult, but very difficult later on down the line. And we do need to ask questions to acquire wisdom. And sometimes the question is why, and sometimes there is no good answer to that. But understanding the spiritual nature of the universe can help us to heal, to grow, and to feel okay despite the fact we may never get the why. We may never find out. It can help us to accept an apology that we never received, for example. And for some of us here, that's a very relevant message today, learning to accept the apology you never got. Okay. Lots of 10 energy coming through here as well. I'm just adding numbers up going, Okay. 10 is about change, starting a new cycle. So I feel like energetically there is a new cycle that's ready to start for you guys here that you're sort of revving up for at the moment. There's a new cycle coming in. Let's get our tarot cards out and see what else they would like to say. We've got the unfolding path here. See what we're going to add with the tarot cards, what messages are going to come through from the dragon realms here for you. It's very powerful, very loving energy here. This particular pack is always got a very protective energy, and they clearly work with humans and with other beings as well from other planets, what we would call extraterrestrial, other dimensional beings, etheric beings. They seem to mix kind of with everybody. They are the wise guides and leaders for many in different incarnations. 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands, okay. Temperance. 8 of Cups. The Moon. Page of Wands. The World. Ace of Cups. Okay. On the bottom we got the Ace of Swords. I'm going to bring that one in. Pop that there. Clarity, new beginnings, new emotional beginnings, leaving difficulty behind. Oh, I like these themes. I do like these themes. 6 of Wands, victory after a long battle. We had that in pile 1 as well. There are definitely some similarities with pile 1. But just tweak the camera so you can see a bit better. There we go. Definitely got some similarities with pile 1 here. And I just saw 44:22 on the clock there. So there's some interesting energy coming in here with emotion and with the physical realm. So that this is very very real world stuff that's happening rather than on a more spiritual level. Pile 1 was more spiritual. You guys, Pile 2, I think we're talking more about very human experiences, very real world stuff. Less on the higher level. That's how we're experiencing these energies. That's how things are showing up for us at the moment. So I'm feeling a lot of themes to do with relationships, leaving things behind. Maybe with the Page of Wands, I almost want to say having a light bulb moment one day and stepping out on something. Some of you may have literally woken up one day and gone, I can't be in this relationship anymore. It's not helping me. It's abusive. It's I'm not doing well in this situation, in this job. And might be family who've been treating you very badly or abusing you your whole life, and you suddenly wake up one day and go, I have to step away from this. I have to leave. I have to walk my own path. I have to go in my own direction. I have to leave behind what no longer serves me, and step away with love and respect, but I still have to do it. So the world, it's almost like the world opening up to you, but you've waited a long time for this, and the possibility of new beginnings, new horizons. I mean, we've got 2 aces here, so it's all about new beginnings. I want to say new beginnings in love for a lot of you as well, because we do have the Ace of Cups. But a lot of clarity here as well. I don't think you're going to be anybody's fool. I don't think there's anyone going to be able to pull the wool over your eyes this time, I want to say. And with balance coming back in with Temperance, there's a calm that comes in here as well. These lovely irises on that card. Maybe irises, or the name Iris I think might be relevant to somebody watching. And then we have the moon as well. So with the moon, I actually want to bring in spiritual practice here, loving your body. The element of water I want to bring in very strongly here. That's what's speaking to me today. And I want to say hidden knowledge coming to light, hidden spiritual knowledge coming to light. And my third eye is actually activating, and well, it's active the whole time I'm doing these readings, let's be honest, but it's overactive at the moment. It's a little bit uncomfortable, hurts a little bit, to be honest. So these could be truths that hurt, or it could be that your spiritual awareness, psychic ability, perhaps you had it shut down for a long time, so you're having to open it back up again. Maybe there were reasons you couldn't use it, or I feel there's something to do with that, because both of these people, she has the circle on her third eye, and this lady has the triple moon, triple goddess on her third eye. So I've got a strong connection with the third eye chakra here, which is literally there. That's where it is. So as your spiritual awakening, your spiritual growth, for want of a better word, is happening at the moment, and it's not a one-off thing. It happens over time. It happens many times over to different levels. We never stop growing, never stop evolving. It's not a case of, oh well, I've had a spiritual awakening, I'm better than you now. God, no. If you meet someone who talks like that, run fast in the opposite direction. Okay. It might be a bit narcissistic. Okay. Water energy, so there's understanding things through difficult emotions, through difficult relationships. You may be somebody who's understood and learned a lot about the world through personal experience of very difficult relationships. And I'm actually wearing this heart bracelet today that I don't normally wear for readings. I think it's the first time I've worn it for readings, actually. It might be, don't quote me on that, but I think it is. Yeah, so I was drawn to buy this one just quite recently. It's not silver or anything, it's just a pretty piece of tinsel. Maybe that's how you were treated by somebody in a past relationship, as a pretty piece of tinsel that had no intrinsic value or worth. So that's a message, very specific message for somebody out there. Okay, but yes, knowledge of your value. For the ladies watching, I feel there's a lot of divine feminine energy watching this. So ladies or men who resonate more with the divine feminine energy. Yes, understanding your true worth, understanding who you really are, and a lot of heart healing. I feel you may have given... No, I feel you've definitely given way more than you've received in the past. I want to say definitely, not maybe. This is a definite. So yeah, very beautiful watery energy coming through here. So it's water represents emotion. You may be having dreams about water, or with water in it, or with the sea. Do pay attention if there is water or bodies of water in your dream. That always talks about emotion, okay, unless there's something specific in your life that makes water show up, like if you, I don't know, maybe you work on a boat. Okay. But even so, water tends to represent emotion, so pay attention when it shows up in your dreams, please. For example, choppy waters could be difficult emotions, dark, turbulent seas with big waves can represent difficult emotions. It tends to show up when you're having a bad time. Ice is another way it can show up as well. Frozen emotions, things that you're not able to express or where things are difficult. It's fascinating, and for some reason I want to talk about dream interpretation for you guys, so perhaps that's something you're drawn to or that you do, or maybe it's something that it's a good idea for you to look more into, study more. Maybe your dreams are trying to tell you things at the moment. The dreamscape is certainly a way that your spirit guides, your angels, and your subconscious mind, your higher self, will try and communicate with you through dreams. So do pay attention to the vivid ones that stick in your mind. Very often they'll have powerful messages for you. And once you learn how to interpret your dreams, you become the best interpreter of your own dreams. Okay. They're nothing to be afraid of. There's a lot of symbolism in there, and generally things are not to be taken literally, although occasionally they can be, but that's something you learn as time goes on if you haven't already learned that. So clarity coming in with the Ace of Swords. I'm loving that energy. Yes. I'm taken to... I was watching videos on YouTube earlier, as you do. I'm a YouTuber. I literally live on YouTube at the moment when I'm not on Instagram. And I was watching videos of the King's Armed Guard, the horses outside Buckingham Palace, the soldiers on the horses in all their regalia, and those gorgeous horses. I used to actually ride a retired one of those, it was Queen's Guard at the time, a retired, very, very dark black coloured horse. He was lovely, called Drummond. And I don't know why I'm drawn to that, but with the sword here, it just reminds me of the household cavalry swords. So there could be a connection to the military or the cavalry in particular, or to horses. I'm just very, very drawn there, like the beautiful armour he was wearing, this beautiful shiny armour, which is obviously for display purposes rather than for battle. I'm not sure it could stop a bullet, but yeah, there's definitely a connection with that for somebody, but... feeling strong, feeling protected is what I want to say moving forwards for you. Your heart is going to be protected, I feel. It is, of course, up to you to protect it, to wear that beautiful golden shining armour, to have your eyes open, to be paying attention, because this is a guard outside a palace. So I feel like it's necessary to learn how to guard your heart in the right way, not panic when somebody steps forwards, like one of the horses did earlier on one of the videos. The horse is freaking out. It's quite funny. I felt bad for the horse. I always do. Always take the horse's side. And then I watched another one where a horse nipped a child, which was pretty funny. Totally the parents' fault. People in the comments were just piling in. Oh, that's terrible. And people saying, well, there was a sign there, apart from anything else, it's a horse. Hello. Second of all, there was a sign there saying horses can kick and bite, please keep a distance. But they weren't. People were being tourists, as they do, and tourists tend to leave their brains behind, as we know. And people in the comments are laying in to the palace, to like the British people, saying, trust you to think it's okay to just have the sign in English. And I thought, the horse can't read the sign either, to be fair. It's like, it's a freaking horse. You never met a horse before. If I went to another country and a horse bit me, would I say, well, that wasn't my fault because there wasn't a sign up in my language telling me that the horse was going to frickin' well bite me? No, you use common sense, people. So I don't know why I'm repeating this, but I was so outraged. I was utterly outraged. Like, what is wrong with people these days that they don't want to take responsibility for anything? It's almost like, no, I must immediately find someone to blame. And maybe that's the kind of people you were surrounded with for a lot of your life, and you ended up taking on other people's blame and doing too much, trying to run around after them and make sure their precious fifis weren't hurt, and that can be very difficult, because that's what narcissists are like. Everything is somebody else's fault. Everything is somebody else's responsibility. They demand that other people run around after them in the most inappropriate ways, even their own children, and I don't mean adult children, underage children. They expect to run around after them and make them feel better. So perhaps that's a connection for you here. I feel we've got people watching who had a parent or parents or parental figures or adult figures around them who maybe were somewhere on the negative end of the narcissistic spectrum. So high narcissistic traits, psychopathic traits, sociopathic traits maybe, who made your life very difficult. So, My headache's eased actually after saying that, so clearly that was something I needed to say, so thank you for that. And if you are here, welcome. You're in very good company. I totally understand. Wow. But some deeper truths about yourself. Maybe your carers when you were younger, maybe teachers or someone where you were in a relationship with told you were worthless and that you had to run around after other people, or you had no intrinsic value, and that you would only be valued for what you do rather than what you are. And I want you to know that your heart, your being, has beautiful, wonderful, perfect value, dignity in and of itself, just for existing. Okay, just for existing. Okay, just the fact that you exist is enough. You are already enough before you even did anything. Okay. All right. All right, let's bring in some oracle cards. We have the Messenger Oracle here, and we also have the Secret Language of Light, because we've got some quite high level spiritual messages coming through today. Let's see what we've got for pile 2. Know your power on 21. Wow, what did I just say? We've got a horse as well. Yay! The horse energy coming through. That must be why I was talking about the household cavalry earlier. Beautiful horses they are. Absolutely gorgeous. Secret Destiny also came out in pile 1, so very interesting synchronicity. I think there's some common themes running through the soul groups at the moment. Okay, those are all the same. I thought I shuffled these. Let me give them another quick shuffle. Definitely shuffled them in. Protect the Wild and Green. Green. I said the colour green was important, didn't I? Wash away your burdens, pink and green. Yes. This, for me, this is often a heart healing card with the pink flowers and the green lily pads, the green frog here, and the flower here just between her crown chakra and her third eye chakra. So beautiful. Wow, definitely heart healing, almost like cleansing coming through here with the water around her, like she's being cleansed in a river, almost like some sort of spiritual baptism. Maybe that's something, maybe you've recently been baptized, maybe that's something that you relate to very strongly. So protect the wild and green. Yes, protect the green. What's the green? The green is your heart chakra. Okay, in this context, the green is your heart chakra. It's your heart. Protect your heart. Okay, you've got the sword there to protect yourself with. Very beautiful protective energy coming through. I think that's what your dragons would like to help you with. Okay, so if you spend some time meditating, see which dragons come forward, invite them forwards, see which ones come in to help you. Definitely dragon energy wanting to work with you if you don't already work with them. There's a green dragon wants to come in and work with you here, so look out for them. They will show up in their own way, not necessarily in meditation. They might just show up one day on a greetings card, a postcard, a poster. Someone might give you a green dragon, you know. See how they show up. They will show up one way or another. Sometimes it's as random as you look out of the window somewhere and the leaves of the tree outside are kind of moving into a pattern and it almost looks like a dragon. You know, or you can see like an image in the leaves of the trees. That's a powerful one. Always pay attention to the world around you, because there are so many messages in everything around you. I often see things in leaves of trees, or in, this can sound weird, in carpet, in floor coverings. Sometimes like patterns just jump out at me and look like shapes, and that's another way that your guides can communicate with you. So again, it's always through very normal, natural means that it comes through. So wow, yes, this new path opening up to you, taking you to higher heights, but also taking you on a very beautiful, safe journey as well, I want to say, teaching you your power, teaching you your importance in existence, teaching you about why you're here, I think, as well. And if you do already know why you're here, I think it's possibly another layer, a higher layer of that coming in for you as well. Okay, let's go to the Secret Language of Light to see what we've got for you there. Oops, okay. Expansion on 44, yes. With 48 here, I meant to mention 48 is completion of karmic contract. 48-12-3, very powerful numerology. Let's bring this one in here. Oh, sensitivity on 15, yes, very sensitive hearts watching this one. And soul writing on 20. This could be a nudge for some of you to write a book, start a blog, or to publish something you've already written, to read what you've written to other people. Words are important. Your words are important. It could also be writing spells for yourself if that's something you're doing, or journaling. But certainly words are a big part of your path. Expansion, I love this one on 44.8. Brings in a very powerful energy, and it's very much in the here and now as well. Very much in the 3D, in the physical world, in this reality, this physical reality, change coming in, expansion coming in, growth coming in, new opportunities coming in for you in work, in love, in many different situations for you. Again, spiritual practice is highlighted here. So maybe you've recently started a particular spiritual practice or a particular religion, or restarted that, but it does feel like an expansion of your spiritual practice, your spiritual growth, which is absolutely beautiful. And there is an acknowledgement here of your deep natural sensitivity. You're probably a natural empath if you're watching pile 2, even if you don't know it, but very sensitive. So I feel there is a need to build resilience, perhaps, especially if you have trauma in your past. There may be a need to build resilience if you haven't already done that, and a connection perhaps to roses literally for you as well, or to the name Rose or similar names. Okay, that one wants to come out, doesn't it? I'm just touching it and it's like, oh, it's coming out. Do not fear the unknown. Yes, beautiful message on number 7, number of the mystic. Very mystical, beautiful energy here. So with your spiritual practice, with your religion or spirituality, whatever it is, whichever direction you're being drawn in, it's telling you not to be afraid, not to be afraid. Step forwards without fear, with love, with an open heart, and know that you are safe. Remember to ground your energy, bolster your energy, bolster your resilience as well. Your heart's been through a lot. Okay, but I feel you're really on the right path now. Really on the right path. You feels like energetically you're being cleansed of these difficult emotions, this gorgeous water energy coming in. And that doesn't mean you don't have to do anything. You may still need to do the work, the shadow work in counselling and therapy, or healing work, whatever it is that you need to do, whether it's Reiki or SRT, or you may have some physical ailments that need to be taken care of. Maybe you should be watching your diet in a certain way. So that's a nudge to do the right things for your body. Okay, do the right things for the physical body. I feel it may have been neglected somewhat in this lifetime, and there may be good reason for that. Okay, but don't judge yourself, please, pile 2. You're wonderful, all right? You are enough. Take it from me. Okay. So I hope that was helpful to you, my friends. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Please take very, very, very good care of yourselves, pile 2, all right? I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Dragon Path Oracle. This was your piece of hematite here, which we're going to pop on. Oh, excuse me. Pop on there on our clear quartz. If it wants to stay. There we go. Yes, it does. And I've also got the Midnight Magic Tarot deck for you here as well. We're going to be having a little look at that to see what messages the Dragon Realms have for you. Okay, this is a very spiritual oracle deck, and it's one that some of the meanings are very interesting. So I may need to look up in the book for you on this one just to get some extra meanings. So every pile has been really different today. I mean, really seriously different, but not necessarily mutually exclusive. So for some people, definitely piles 1, 2, and 3 are going to resonate, I think. So this is going to be interesting. Alrighty. Okay. And ever since I started preparing, putting the cards away and getting ready, oh, there's like a hole in there. Oh, it's almost like a hagstone. Huh. Although it doesn't go all the way through, but interesting. Hagstones were considered very protective and used by the Pellers and witches from my neck of the woods, from the British Isles, for protection. I actually have a few. Here's a big one. Look at that. How's that for hagstone? That's a girt big one. Look at the hole through there. Isn't that cool? Looks almost like a bone. It's not. It's flint. Look. Right. Okay. Also, I've had this song stuck in my head, which is what I was about to say before I noticed the hole on the hematite. Frère Jacques has been stuck in my head. ever since I started to dip into the pile 3 energy. I have no idea why. Maybe there's a connection, you know, the one frère Jacques, dormez-vous, all that nonsense. And it would not go away. So clearly that's a message here for somebody. Maybe there's somebody called Jacques watching, maybe somebody like Jacques Cousteau. Maybe we've got some francophones in the audience, some French Canadians or other French speakers or French speaking wannabes in the audience today. It's a curious one, but that came in very strongly and would not go away. So I had to talk about it because that's the rules. Okay. Wow, 13 Avebury Matriarch. Okay, we're coming in strong here. A strong start. 7 Magic and Manifestation. 12 Singold. 32 Divine Feminine. And what number is that? 16 Grace. And on the bottom we have Destiny. Wow, pile 3? What's going on? What's happening here? Oh, that one wants to come out, doesn't it? Number 1, Balance. What is going on in this powerful energy? Oh my goodness. I'm looking at it thinking, what? This is a lot. This is a lot. What have you been manifesting? What have you been working on? I feel like this is a very, very magical, powerful soul group coming in here. This is a very spiritual soul group being drawn to pile 3 right now. Oh, wow. Very positive, bringing the energy of the Divine Feminine. I love this one on number 7, the number of the Mystic. There's a cute little pentagram there as well, and there's sacred geometry in the background here. This is fabulous. And Avebury, if you've never been to Avebury, I recommend it. It's a very magical place. I love the energy there. I love the stones. They're very chatty. They will talk to you if you listen. Singold I'm going to look up because he or she will have a particular meaning. Balance with the yin and yang here, yes. Wow, and Grace. This is incredible, guys. Seriously, seriously. Wow. I want to say you're probably very strong manifestors, whether you realise it or not. I think it's almost like you have the ability to wield the powers of the universe and bend them to your whim to a greater or lesser degree, but with such grace and beauty as well. Wow. I got to stop saying wow, but I can't help it. I want to bring in this crystal as well. This is one that I got yesterday when I got the 3 hematites for this reading and this little dragon. This is, I think it's Aqua Aura. Let me just check in my book, but I want to bring this one in. I feel like this is important. There's a connection here with Aqua Aura. Let me grab my book. Here we go, page 229 of the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall, who is local to me actually. She's a friend of a friend. I've never had the chance to meet her. I would like to one day. So yes, this is one, it's a quartz that's had something else bonded to it. So they're quartz crystals artificially bonded with gold. Isn't that wonderful? I love the intense colours on this. So let's see, Aqua Aura, where are we? Aura quartzes. Each aura quartz has its own specific properties related to the colour, but shares many properties because of the gold alchemized onto its surface. So we've got the energy of gold coming through here, which is very powerful, very helpful. Why isn't it showing me Aqua Aura? Oh, here we go. Oh, that was the first one. Okay. Despite being artificially created, Aqua Aura has an intense energy reflecting the alchemical process that bonds gold onto pure quartz. Aqua Aura frees you from limitation and creates space for something new. Wow. This crystal heals, cleanses, and calms the aura, releasing any stress and healing holes. There's a hole in our crystal here. Okay. It then activates the chakras, especially at the throat, where it encourages communication from the heart. Aqua Aura releases negativity from the subtle energetic bodies, so that's your actual aura and your chakras. and from the connections the spiritual body makes to universal energies. The expression of soul energy is then activated, fulfilling your highest potential. That's what I'm feeling with you guys. I feel like you're on a spiritual path to fulfill your highest spiritual potential in this lifetime. This is a very evolved soul group that I'm talking to here, I'm sure of it. Aqua aura stimulates channeling and self-expression and deepens spiritual attunement and communication. Wow. It is a protective stone that safeguards against psychic or psychological attack. Okay. It bestows profound peace during meditation. Used in conjunction with other crystals, Aqua aura enhances their healing properties. I've seen this particular crystal being used as an etheric weaver before now as well. Very interesting. Strengthens the thymus gland and the immune system. Wow. Thank you, Judy. Appreciate you. Goodness me. Yes. That'll be fun to do a meditation with this crystal. Gorgeous. So much wisdom. I'm feeling a connection to Atlantis. I think there's some Atlantean souls here with us today. So that's souls who were incarnated in the time of Atlantis, who remember that. Many of us have memories of that time as well. Very evolved soul group here. That doesn't necessarily mean that your life looks easy or perfect, or that you spend all your time in a temple, much as that would be nice. I wouldn't mind that sometimes. Sometimes I think, yeah, it'd be great. Could I go live in a temple, please? We don't get to do that in this lifetime. We have to follow our spiritual path as it looks like in 2020, whatever you're watching this in. I'm filming it in 2024. You might be watching this in 10 years' time. You might be in the 30s, 40s. It really doesn't matter. Very powerful energy coming through here. It is about being balanced. And I feel like you have reached a point in your soul's evolution where you are far more balanced, where you are very healed in many ways, where you have been through a lot. You have grounded your energies. You have connected to different aspects of soul. You've been able to pull in missing soul fragments. There's a lot of work gone on here. There's a lot of work gone on here in one way or another. A lot of healing work, a lot of spiritual work, whether you've been consciously aware of it or not. I feel like you've done a lot in this lifetime and previous ones to get to this point here. This is very exciting, very interesting read. Wonderful energy. You guys, very uplifting to be around, I have to say. Very spiritual, highly attuned energy here as well. It's wonderful. I think a lot of people watching this one are going to be empaths, psychics, healers, mediums, very gifted magicians with high magics, or spell work, lower magics. Oh, wow. Very esteemed is the word the dragons give me. Very esteemed by the dragon realms. They respect you very much for what you've done and what you've achieved. And they would like to work with you more. If you don't already work with them, they would like to either deepen that relationship or begin a relationship with you. I'm going to look up Singold because I don't know what this particular dragon's story is. It'll be interesting to see. Let's have a look on number 12 here. And you guys know I never read things out of books normally. It's just not really what I do. But there is a time and a place for it. So Singold, do that which lifts your heart to bring forth your deep inner smile from within. Oh, it's a dragon of gratitude. Wonderful. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Gratitude and grace and manifestation and balance. Of course, that makes perfect sense. Because of course it does. The gratitude dragon coming in. There's a deep sense of deep spiritual calm and gratitude that comes through for you, pile 3. Like you really understand something about this reality, about everything. Like I feel there have been spiritual awakenings for you, very deep ones. Yeah, and as such, you've reached a point now in your evolution where you've grown and changed to a point where you can manifest things a lot more easily because your ego mind, it really isn't getting in the way anywhere near as much as it used to. Of course, it's still with you because we can't get rid of it as long as we're in physical incarnation, but it feels like you're much more in a state of mastery of it. I want to say that there's a much higher energy coming in here. It's very, very beautiful, actually, very beautiful, higher magical energy. And there is a reminder as well to stay humble for those that may let their ego get away with them here, because this is possibly the next challenge where you do get very powerful, very skilled at these things. It's very easy for the ego to play a trick on you and jump in and say, ha ha ha, I'm back in control now. Oh, look at all these wonderful things I can do. I must be so great. I must be so important. I must be better than other people. And you kind of start to go backwards in your progress at that point. But it's normal. It's just a part of the path. It's a part of being a human being. So no shade here. But it is something to bear in mind, something to be aware of. Where would you like to go? Over there. Okay. Wow. All right, let's bring in our tarot cards. Let's see what else our wonderful dragon friends would like to tell us. For my pile threes, what have we got here? I am very drawn to stone circles. I mean, this kind of is evocative of Stonehenge. Stonehenge is very close to Avebury, if you've not visited, not aware of that. It may be a nudge for some of you to visit Stonehenge and Avebury, or if you can't visit, just to maybe look at pictures of it to feel the energy. Okay, very special places. I get called up there sometimes to do energy work. And by called up, I mean by my spirit guides. You know, the English Heritage doesn't ring me up and say, oh, Helen, could you come and clear our stone circle for us? English Heritage is, I think they're a not-for-profit that look after Stonehenge. So that'd be funny, wouldn't it? I wouldn't mind if they had like some sort of bat phone to ring me on. Oh dear. Maybe in another lifetime when we've evolved to that point. The Empress. Temperance, Seven of Pentacles, Six of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. Do not deceive yourself in your own power and glory. Do not deceive yourself. Okay, I kind of want to go to, you know, there's that section of the Lord's Prayer for any of the Christians or Catholics or anything out there. Lead us not into temptation. I want to go to that line because that feels very pertinent here. Because you may be a bit of a high flyer spiritually or energetically, or even in like a more physical part of life. Maybe you earn lots of money and you're very successful. I want to say, don't let that deceive you. Don't let the seeming abundance around you deceive you into believing that you are superior to others. Or this could be a message about someone around you, not necessarily you. Okay. Yeah, it's just a little feet on the ground moment. Come back to earth, please. we all need these reminders from time to time, don't we? Yes, but don't let success lead you astray. Don't let, you know, I may have some people watching who are celebrities or in the public eye. Don't let success lead you astray, because that is a sure path to misery. Okay, keep your feet on the ground. All right. Whew, that was unexpected. Okay, so the Empress, Temperance, Wheel of Fortune, very interesting little triad here. 3 major arcanas all sat there at the beginning of the reading. So, Empress sat on the Divine Feminine energy, which is very interesting here. So it does feel like a big shift, a big change coming in, a rebalancing of energies perhaps. But great power, great spiritual power. So it feels like you are some sort of spiritual leader, if nothing else. If nothing else, God, that came out wrong. Well, nothing really comes out wrong in readings, but a great spiritual leader in some capacity in your life. So you may work as like a shaman, or a priest, a priestess, or some sort of spiritual teacher. You know, you might be a yoga teacher, whatever it is. I think you're very important in many people's lives spiritually, and I want you to remember that responsibility that comes with it. Okay, that there must be an equal give and take. All right, that you must honour and keep your feet on the ground and stay humble as well. So that's a very specific message for some people watching. That's not for everyone necessarily. Remember, this is a group reading. Nobody get offended. And if you do get offended, something's triggering you and you need to look at what that is. And don't say, it's you, Helen, you're triggering me. Okay, I ain't the trigger. I'm just pressing it like this. You know when you were a kid and you used to get bruises, and your sister, in my case, used to come up and press your bruises. You're like, ow, get off. And we thought it was hilarious to press, do that to each other. It does hurt. And that's basically what I'm doing. I'm pressing on your bruises so you know they're there. Then you do something about them. Go and put some witch hazel on them. Go and get some arnica. Okay. Not literally, unless you actually have bruises, but that could be a little nudge there to do some additional shadow work, because we all have shadow work to do. And if anything, it gets harder the more work we do on ourselves spiritually as we spiritually evolve. It doesn't get easier, which is what I was expecting. It gets harder. Some of the lessons get harder and you're like, oh, for God's sake, what the hell? This was supposed to be, enlightenment was supposed to be good. It was supposed to be easy. No, it wasn't. That's what you thought. That's what you decided. That's what human beings decided it was. Believe me, it wasn't. Look at Jesus's life. Seriously? Did he have an easy life? Not really, not particularly. Okay. All right. Seven of Swords, deception. Six of Pentacles, give and take. What's that one? Seven of Pentacles. Yes. And Six of Cups. Keep growing, keep glowing. Now, I'm actually stealing those words from Chrissy Sawyer of Zeta Fuki. Yes, keep growing, because you are growing spiritually at this time. You are growing in many, many different ways, and it's very exciting to see. When I look at your energy in the ether, it's very interesting to see. Very, what's the word? It's fascinating to watch, I want to say. It's fascinating to see this huge spiritual growth happening for you at the moment. And it may be happening in ways that you're not even realising. Spiritual growth tends to happen and then we don't realise it until it's happened, but the people around us watch it. Okay, and it can be happening in the form of difficult experiences or suddenly being thrust into the limelight. And I feel for some of you that's the case. You are in the limelight or about to be. Maybe you're a YouTuber with like 1 million followers or something, which I aspire to be one day. Yeah, but there is this reminder to stay humble, keep your feet on the ground regardless, because you are on this very beautiful path. It's very powerful as well, and I think you've worked very hard to get here, and I do want to acknowledge that. You've worked hard to get here. You're not here for no reason. Any successes you've had in your life, you have been strategic and worked towards them. I feel you're very determined. I feel you are somebody who goes after what they want, even if there is some hesitancy beforehand. I think you're very brave, Pile 3. I think you are souls who are very brave and who step onto the more difficult paths that other souls would shy away from. And I want that acknowledgement to come in here as well, because I'm aware I have bashed you a little bit, okay? Okay. So let us bring in the Messenger Oracle, see what other messages your beloved dragons have for you. Okay. Do not fear the unknown. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't think you do. Even if you are afraid, I think you do it anyway. We are all connected. We are all one. Yes, we are. Embrace the... Hang on, let me just get some crystals in here because YouTube might not like this card very much because of her green boobies. Let's cover up her green boobies with a nice piece of agate. Okay, there we go. No boobies. All right, embrace the feminine. Okay, that's great because we've got the Empress and we've got the Divine Feminine here, so there's a whole lot of Divine Feminine energy coming through here. So for some people it's may literally be about motherhood, becoming a mother, becoming a grandmother, stages of motherhood, stages of the female body. And on the bottom, show that you care. Beautiful. Really gorgeous, loving energy. There may be a draw to do charity work at this point in time, at this point in your evolution. And if that happens, know that it's divinely guided. Even if you don't find any that you can do, just know that that's part of your spiritual evolution, the fact that you're drawn to do that at this time. We are all connected. Yes, I think you know that, but there is this nudge, this reminder here that as you do your spiritual work, you are helping other people to be elevated, to be spiritually raised up as well. And that is important to remember. And don't fear the unknown on your spiritual path, even when a lot of the experiences we have can be very dark and difficult, and we find ourselves faced with thought patterns or beliefs that we thought we would never have. So that's a challenge for some people coming up at the moment as well, which is very interesting indeed. But you know what? There's change coming in for you because you're about to go to another level. Very drawn to the number 49. You're about to go to 50. Some of you literally in age, but 49 to 50. This is a big shift. This is obviously the shift of the second half second half, oh my god, century, the second half of the century, there it is. For some people I said second decade, so maybe you're literally a teenager or in your 20s or something, but I don't make these slips for no reason. When words come out of my mouth, my guides put them there when weird things come out of my mouth in these readings, so go with it. But 49, you're about to go to 50, which is a very sacred number, a very powerful number. It's a higher evolution of the mind, of the spiritual mind. It's a very powerful spiritual number, 50. And look out for it, because 50 may be on your path as well. It may show itself. It may show up for you in a number of ways. Maybe you live at number 50, or number 50, so 50 shows up for you in a lot of different ways. Maybe it's your favourite item on the takeaway menu at the Chinese, you know? It could be that simple. You're like, oh yeah, I'd never noticed that, but 50, it was there for me all along. You guys know how it works. 6 of Cups, beautiful. I feel like you're moving into higher levels of spiritual love as well. So it feels like your romantic relationship's potentially going up a level as well, which can look like ending a long-term relationship and entering into another one unexpectedly. But it feels like on a soul level, there's some very important souls coming forwards to you at the moment as you evolve. So our lessons never get easier, do they? So, but there's a lot of joy for you in your future. I want to say there's a lot of joy coming in here. It's very, very beautiful energy. And I love these bizarre little things hatching out of the puffball mushrooms here, almost like strange and wonderful creatures hatching from funny little eggs, although it's actually spores coming out of a mushroom. So things being born for you at this time, new beginnings coming in for you, certainly. Very, very interesting. It's going to be unique for everybody, so I really can't be specific because spiritual path changes, wow, they're big and different. Soul Tree, 21. Divine Animals, 22. We've got a progression here, and our videos start. No. Oh, that's weird. I don't want to say that. I wanted to say that there's a progression in the energy, and I thought the number on the video was a progression, but it wasn't. That was pile 2. Maybe there's a connection to pile 2 here for you then. Yeah, okay. Soul Tree and Divine Animals, 21, 22, moving forwards energetically. You're definitely on your journey, on your path here for sure. There is a connection to animals coming in. I want to say a connection to Lionsgate as well, which is coming up if you're watching this when I'm, immediately after I've recorded it, or in future years, because it happens every year. 8th of August, Lionsgate, that energy, and the 2 weeks that precede it and that follow it as well, very important energy. So I think there's going to be some big downloads coming in for you next time around, or if it's just past, you may have already noticed them. But it does almost feel like researching your soul's family tree at the moment, reconnecting with your soul's family tree, finding the souls who are there to work with you. It's like you've reached this level now where they're going to seek you out, or you're going to find them, or be inspired to find them for some reason. And move towards them. You may even literally be moving house divinely guided, and other people might think it's on a whim, and you're like, no, it's totally divinely guided. I know what I'm doing. A lot of people are not going to understand what you're doing during this time. I'm just going to say it. For some of you, people are not going to understand what you're doing, the choices you're making, but you're going to know that it's necessary. Very spiritual energy coming in on 21-3. That's a strong manifesting energy, so it's the individual leading the polarity, the emotional self. So sometimes it might feel difficult. It might feel as though you're not sure where your mind is going with this one, but you know you have to do it. A bit like me when I go to Stonehenge. I'm like, oh, I've got to go to Stonehenge now. No idea why, but off I go. And then I go and do some healing energy there. 21-3, yeah. This new blueprint, it's not so much it's not so much a new blueprint for this lifetime. It's one of the possible blueprints that was available for this lifetime. I'm noticing how blue this ring is that I'm wearing. This is actually moonstone. These are both moonstone, just slightly different hues. Moonstone, the kind of bluer moonstones could be a link for you as well here with the aqua aura crystals. So there's a couple of crystals for you to investigate. It does feel like you're moving on to a higher soul contract. It's one of the soul contracts that was available to you for this lifetime, and it wasn't compulsory that you reach it, basically. Okay, it was available, but you didn't have to get to it. You know, it was there as a choice for you to make, and we all have to make choices in this lifetime because nothing's set in stone, remember. Nothing's set in concrete. We have to make choices and decide where we're going to go on our spiritual path every time we evolve and when we arrive here. Things are laid out to us to a point, but we have choices, and we can reach different levels, make different decisions. So it feels like a higher blueprint, a higher soul path that you're stepping onto at 50. I don't necessarily mean the age, but at the 50 energy that you're about to step into. So it's imminent. Imminent. Wow, very interesting. Okay, I want to bring in my ammonite here as well. This is actually a pendant. I want to bring in the energy of the ammonite as well here, the spiral, the eternal spiral, the sacred geometry that goes with it, the Fibonacci sequence, all very powerful. So you may be drawn to numerology, you may already study it, you may be a numerology, you may be drawn to sacred geometry. I'm very drawn to that for you. So if that resonates, that could be something to look into or to work on to deepen your practice, your knowledge. You may be drawn to contemplate the Platonic solids. The Platonic solids are particular shapes. I'm going to see if I have a picture of them in my sacred geometry book. I don't know if I do. Hoping I do. Just a second. Of course I do. Okay, the Platonic solids, the tetrahedron, octahedron, the cube, icosahedron and dodecahedron. Okay, so that could be something to look into, to investigate if that is of interest, if that resonates for you. I'm actually on the verge of buying myself a set of Platonic solids, so crystals in the shape, in those particular forms, shapes, to meditate and contemplate on. So, okay, I think that's it. Yes, that's it. We're done. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, Pile 3. It's been a pleasure to be in your energy because, to be honest, it's wonderful. I've very much enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am trying to reach my first milestone of 1,000 subscribers, and I would love it if you would be a part of that. You take very good care of yourselves. I know you will. Remember to shield your energy, cleanse your energy, ground, and don't fall into temptation. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.